a message in the style of Fulton Sheen.
Let me speak plainly, for there is a grave confusion in the modern mind about liberty. I have long observed a dangerous illusion, that liberty consists in doing whatever we please. This notion, so widely embraced, mistakes freedom for the mere absence of restraint. It casts all authority, especially moral and religious authority, as an enemy. Yet I must insist, when liberty is severed from truth, it does not elevate man, it unravels him. A society that worships choice for its own sake will, in time, lose even the freedom it so passionately defends. Now, what then is liberty in its true form? It is not license. It is not indulgence. Liberty is the power to choose the good. It is a strength of the soul, not a surrender to impulse. A man is most free not when he follows every desire, but when his will is rightly ordered toward what is true and just. The tragedy of our age is that many now see every boundary, whether born of conscience, faith, or tradition, as a chain rather than as a guide. But I tell you, freedom reaches its fullest expression only when it is directed toward the good. There are those who claim that law stands in opposition to liberty. I say the opposite is true. Law, when rooted in moral truth and divine order, is the very foundation upon which liberty stands. Remove law, and what remains is not freedom, but chaos, soon to be replaced by tyranny. A freedom without structure collapses under its own weight. We have yet to learn that liberty does not flourish in the absence of moral order, but because of it. And what of truth? Here lies perhaps the greatest confusion of all. Liberty and truth are inseparable. I have said before, and I do not hesitate to repeat, that error does not possess the same rights as truth. This is not intolerance, it is clarity. When truth is reduced to opinion, when every belief is treated as equally valid, then liberty itself becomes meaningless. For how can we be free if we do not know what is good, what is right, what is true? A freedom detached from truth will inevitably defend even that which destroys it. My dear friends, we must pause a minute. If this reflection has stirred your soul, I gently ask your support. By liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and ringing the bell for future notifications, you help this message reach other hearts in need of truth. For in sharing what is good, we become instruments of it. Thank you. Consider the human person. We are endowed with intellect and will. True liberty exists when the intellect perceives truth and the will chooses it. But when the will rebels, when it knowingly chooses what is wrong, freedom is not exercised. It is corrupted. It becomes self-destruction. Today, we often elevate feeling above reason, impulse above conscience. We call it authenticity. I call it confusion. Authentic liberty demands a disciplined will and a well-formed mind. Can such liberty endure in our present age? I warn you, it cannot survive in a society indifferent to moral truth. Even democracy depends not merely on systems, but on virtuous citizens. Without a shared understanding of right and wrong, freedom degenerates into selfishness, division, and ultimately disorder. We see this all around us. Rights loudly demanded, duties quietly ignored. A society that abandons virtue cannot long preserve liberty. But I must go further still. Liberty is not merely a natural power. It finds its perfection in the supernatural. Without grace, man's freedom is incomplete. We may strive, we may struggle, but we fall short. Grace, God's own life within us, elevates our freedom, enabling us to rise above sin and choose what is divine. The modern world speaks endlessly of self-empowerment, of asserting one's will. Yet the greatest freedom I've ever known is found not in self-assertion, but in surrender. Thy will be done. In that surrender, we are freed from sin, from fear, from the tyranny of self. And so, I conclude with this. Liberty is both a gift and a responsibility. It is not an end in itself, but a means, a sacred means by which we pursue virtue, justice, and ultimately union with God. Liberty without truth and love does not build, it destroys. We pride ourselves on being free, yet we have forgotten what freedom is for. True liberty is not the right to do as we please, but the power to become what we ought to be, free, good, and holy.
This message was created with the assistance of artificial intelligence and is inspired by the writings and speaking style of Fulton J. Sheen. The voice used in this presentation has been digitally recreated to resemble his voice for your enhanced listening enjoyment. This content is not an original recording or sermon by Fulton Sheen, but a modern interpretation intended for reflection and inspiration.